Welcome back to the League of Hustlers, where we create, master, and maintain multiple streams of income. And I'm your co host, HT.
Yep. I'm CD Barnes.
And again, this is the League of Hustlers. Pull up a seat to the round table. Today, we have a super duper, very important, extremely important episode. Okay. And we're going to be talking about a major thing going on right now. I'm sure you've heard of it. I'm sure it's on your headlines, your news headlines. I'm sure that your cousins, nephews, brothers, sisters, mama, cousin, daughter has talked about it. But what we want to do is really focus on, okay, we really want to focus on the fact that we're at a pivotal moment, okay? A pivotal moment in history. Okay, this stuff happens on a repeated basis. All right, think about computers, when computers came about. All right, think about when cell phones came about. Think about when apps came about. Think about when the internet came about. Think about when social media came. Okay, this is another game changing revolution happening right before our eyes, and we have to ensure that we are taking full advantage of it. Okay, so understand that this episode is extremely important. We're going to be talking about the big opportunities that are in cryptocurrency. Okay, now, City, you want to add anything to that? Because this is, I don't think we can, underplay how monumental this is.
No, man, it's absolutely massive. All right. Everybody's heard of, Bitcoin millionaires and SHIB millionaires and this pick a coin. There's millions of them out there. Okay. All right. That's an overstatement. Not necessarily millions, but there's thousands of coins out there. All right. That are just flying off. A lot of people are getting 1,000 extra turns, 100 extra turns, 10 extra turns, to say the least. And some of this stuff, man, are really solid projects. There's a lot of big opportunities still present. It's not just Bitcoin. It's not too late. I think that's really one of the big things that people need to understand is that you're not late to this party. The market cap is still small. It's still relatively small. We're in the trillions, but in comparison to the relative market cap of like the stock exchange or even some of the major companies, this is a small market cap. It's a small market space. So and even though some of the numbers may be high, like for example, Bitcoin may be 60, 70K at times, but it's still brand new. It's still kind of in the early stages, guys. So there's still a lot of opportunities. And the blockchain technology altogether is still a new industry. So there's tons of other opportunities that you can get in that's taking advantage of this technology that you can invest in. And it's
Right.
the time is now. I mean, you've heard of all the stuff. You've heard of Bitcoin. You heard about blockchain. You heard about the metaverse. You've heard about NFTs and all of these
All of
crazy.
that.
It's a lot of like buzz niche stuff happening in the industry too. But enough said on that. Really, what we just want to get across is that number one, it's not too late. The opportunities are still present, and there's still massive opportunities present. All right.
Exactly. And this is the statement, okay, that we want to, this is the thesis that we're proposing. All right. And to just set the tone and set the stage for this episode. All right. Now may be the last chance that you have to make massive gains in cryptocurrency. This is a now or never type of situation that could create life changing wealth for you and your family. So that, we're just going to put it out there. It's up to you to take advantage of it or not. Okay. As always, this is not financial advice. Invest
Nope.
at your own risk, research, do whatever you need to do, but just understand that what's happening right now with cryptocurrency, with technology, with the financial institutions is going to be game changing. All right. And so just keep that in mind. And this is the statement that we're standing on. All right. One more time. Now, maybe the last chance that you have to make massive gains in crypto. This is a now or never type of situation that could create life changing wealth for you and your family. All right. So
And
let's get it, huh?
yeah, so real quick on that statement, you have to look at this like, if you're in our age group or anywhere, if you're watching this video, chances are you remember when the internet, became a thing. You know, you can remember when the internet became a thing before there was Google, before Yahoo, or Bing and all of this stuff. Now, it was tons of other browsers and big players in the internet space. AOL, and I can't even think of them now. They're like distant memories now. So what we're saying when we say now is the time is it's not that you'll never be able to invest in it. You understand? Because even now you can participate in the internet. You can invest in these big companies, Apple, Google, Microsoft. You can get in and invest. But in regards to that massive component, to be an early adopter is what we're talking about. This is the moment where big industry isn't even really in this market yet. The technology hasn't really been put to use in an industrial scale yet. So
Right.
this is that massive opportunity before the industrial buy-in, before the big money truly gets in here and claims the space.
Right.
This is your chance to really get in, you know and really stake your claim in there. Imagine if you had been one of those early investors in those internet technologies, those internet companies, at the beginning. You were an early investor in Microsoft,
Wow.
Intel, Dell, Apple, Google. Pick one, name them.
Tesla, like
Tesla, Tesla, exactly.
Facebook, Yahoo,
Right,
Google, the list goes on,
right.
bro.
And that's what's happening now. All right, these coins, they're not all meme. There's a lot of meme coins out there. They're kind of jokes, and there's no real utilization or technology behind them. But
Hmm.
there's also a lot of coins that provide real utility, real use case. There are real projects. There are real people and real teams that are working on these projects, and they're going to be big, and some of them are going to be around for a long time. So just look at it like that, man. Opportunity is massive. So
Yeah, man. And
get
like
in,
like
get,
like you said, that's the key. Massive gains.
get in while
It's
you
gonna
can.
be around, but this is the chance to make massive gains, and we're gonna talk about it this episode. All right. Let's see. So, uh, for some reason, the joint doesn't want to progress. Here we go. So yeah. So first thing we want to do is bring back a segment that we used to do a long time ago called the Hustler Highlight. All right,
Yeah,
where we shout out a fellow hustler that is doing their thing, somebody that's in the ring and they're swinging, right? They're swinging for the fence. They're going for the goal. All right, they're in the game and they're doing their thing. And today we want to highlight Ian Bellina. Okay, Ian Bellina, if you don't know, is from Token Metrics. Okay, he founded a company called Token Metrics.
this
His
is the
claim
guy.
to fame is that back during the last bull run, or the last cycle, whatever you want to call it, he turned $20,000 into $5 million. Let me say that again. He turned 20 grand, 20 bands into 5 million big ones. All right. 5 million. Okay, you got to take your hat off. And not only did he do that, but he essentially turned his whole process, right, that he used to turn that 20,000 into 5 million, and created this web platform, this application, okay, that is called Token Metrics. And we just want to give a hustler salute, a big shout out to Ian Belina, right? That's your boy, and that's your
Hey,
president.
hey, this is the guy, man. Look,
Yeah,
do
man.
your research, look him up, look up token metrics. This is the guy. All right. I advise you find someone to follow, or a mentor or a partner, or somebody you can share and capture information with in any industry, whatever it is you do. All right, this is the guy who has publicly, they have a YouTube channel, they have the company Token Metrics, and they get on there and they talk all about crypto and crypto only. That's it. And they go over in great detail almost every coin and almost every major play. So you get
Right,
really good information on here, man. So it's a good place to start. I think a lot of times, at least in this crypto space, man, people don't really know where to start and they don't know what they're looking at. And you may not know all about the technology, so you may need a guide. You may need somebody to hold your hand. First thing you need to do, all right, is subscribe to the League of Hustlers. Hit that like button.
boop,
Boom.
boop.
We're going to be talking about the crypto space. But back to the guy, Ian, man, definitely look up Token Metrics. Great platform to get excellent information about the coins and the projects that are doing big things in the blockchain space. Simple as
Right.
that.
Right. Right. And there, so the software is really cool. We've been rocking with it and using it for a while. It's picking out stuff early, right? And that's in crypto, that's where you want to be. You want to be early into a project. Okay. Bitcoin is cool, Ethereum is cool. We're looking at 2 to 5x gains on those two. But realistically, it's the altcoins is where the money is going to be made at, and that's what token metrics does. It's able to filter through. It checks the actual code, right? It checks the team. It checks a bunch of different data points to ensure that whatever project that they're doing research on is meets a certain standard, right? And then it grades them and gives you a final grade on that project. And so for somebody on the outside looking in, you just look at what's called the TM grade, right? And boom, it tells you if it's a good project or not by looking at a bunch of different things, from social online conversations that are being had about the coins, from information concerning the actual team that's developing the project,
Right.
to the actual code. They do code reviews, like they look at the programming code, right, and see if it's
Major.
sound. That's huge, right?
Major.
That's huge.
Yeah. They're
And
doing all of the research
right.
for us right up front.
Yeah, man. And that's to me, especially coming from a technology background, that's what's so appealing about this whole market, right? Is that you have these technology companies that are solving problems. They're either recreating the technology for existing companies, or they're solving new problems that the old companies failed to solve, right? And that's what makes this so appealing to me anyway. Probably the CD too. But you have folks like Ian Belina that are basically taking it to a next level, right?
Right.
And basically giving you picks and saying like, hey, this is what we think this is going to do. They have the price predictions and everything. So hats off to Ian Belina. Hats off to the ultimate hustler.
Hey, I just pulled out the calculator, man, from 20,000 to 5 million
How
is
much is that?
a 25,000% gain.
That's a 250x.
That's beyond the 250x, I believe. That's
You
a
said
25,000%. Hold on, let's do the math. 20,000,
25,000. Yeah, do the math on that. That's
twenty
important.
thousand times 250. That's exactly what that's a 250x.
Yep, that's
All right.
labor. That's like putting a
Yeah,
dollar in and getting $250 back.
simple as that.
Putting $10 in and getting right. You
But see,
know,
the thing is, man, in this industry, it's so possible because imagine the fact that even if you don't get the 250x, let's just say you got a 10x, right? It's
hmm
doable. Then you got a 2x, and then you got another 10x. Like it could happen over the course of a bull run,
right.
Or I mean, realistically, we've seen it even in the past few weeks over the course of, maybe a couple months. Coins that
hmm
literally just do just that. If you pick
Right.
them early and you got in early, they literally 250x just on one coin. So I mean, it's definitely possible, man. And you don't need to start with $20,000, guys. All right, don't even worry about that whole I gotta have $20,000 to get in this game. Another beautiful thing about crypto is, unlike a lot of stocks, if you're going directly to the platforms, you don't have to buy the whole share. You don't have to buy a complete share. For example, if a lot of people don't buy stocks in Apple and things like, because it could be a $500 per share item, and they may not have $500 to buy the whole share. Now there are other ways to get around that now, but prior to, that was a thing. But with crypto, you don't even have to buy the complete, token or coin or share, however you want to look at it. You can buy fractions of Bitcoin. You can buy fractions of Ethereum, fractions of VChain, fractions of,
Right.
whatever your favorite coin is. So don't let that stop you. All right. Get your
Major.
$100, get your $50 and get in the game. Just get started. All right.
Just get started, man. That's it. Just get started. All right. So, first topic. First topic that we want to talk about. All right. First topic, right, is the halving cycle peak, right? That's the big question. Like where do you see Bitcoin going? Where do you see Ethereum going? What's the peak price? Where blah 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 blah. Like where do we see the peak of this cycle peaking at, right? So every if you don't know, every 210,000 blocks in the blockchain
Blockchain.
is called a halving cycle, right? A halving happens at every 210,000 blocks. All right.
Right.
So whenever the halving happens, that means that the price that Bitcoin miners get paid to mine Bitcoin, it gets cut in half. And what this essentially does is it makes the value of it go up exponentially. Okay, which is why you see Bitcoin starting at cents, like cents on a dollar, like literally cents. And then over the years, it's grown each halving cycle exponentially to the point where it went from pennies to where we are now, 65,000 plus dollars per Bitcoin. Okay. And what tends to happen is that whatever happens with Bitcoins, it affects the entire market. Okay. This is why you
Yep.
see Ethereum going up. This is why you see all of the other altcoins, what's called alternative coins or altcoins. This is why we see those going up as well. Okay. But for 2021 and 2022, this is a statement that we're going to stand on. This halving cycle is nothing like we've seen before. Some things are the same, but you have to take in consideration ETFs and NFTs. Okay. And I will throw another one in there as well, DeFi. So ETFs, NFTs, and DeFi. DeFi stands
Right.
for decentralized finance. ETFs, of course, exchange traded funds, and NFTs are non fungible tokens. These three things are, I believe, going to cause this halving cycle peak to go higher and stay there longer. Okay. So, again, 2021, 2022 halving cycle is going to be wider. Okay. It's either going to be longer or it's going to not drop as much. Okay, there's another key point. Every halving cycle, after it happens, the price runs up and it crashes. Sometimes 60%, 40 to 60% with Bitcoin. With
Woo!
other things, it's crashing like 90%. Some altcoins crash like 99%. Okay,
So
you
listen,
do.
guys, wait. Hold on, wait a minute. Wait. This is a major point, guys. Now listen.
Really big point.
You don't want to get caught holding the bag on this, okay? Or if you are a long-term holder, you just have to understand that the price is going to drop, and you can hold through that drop, and eventually the price will go back up higher than where you left off the last time. All right, just keep that in mind. All right, you're not losing money unless you sell when it's down. If you just hold it, you're not losing money. It's not a loss unless you sell when it's down. If the price goes down, you just need to hold it until it comes back up. You just need to wait and be patient. And when it goes back up, it's going to go up higher than where it left off the last time. A lot of people don't sell their Bitcoin, they just hold it forever,
Mm-hmm.
and they just accumulate more. If it drops down, then they accumulate more, and then they would just wait for it to go back up, however long that takes. 6 months, a year, 2 years, next halving cycle, whatever. So it's just a key point. Don't run out here and put your mortgage in there and then think that it's going to be all good and you're going to make a $5 million real fast like Ian Bellina, and then the market drop, and now you don't got enough money to pull your mortgage out. So don't do that.
Woo!
Don't do that. All right. Don't do
Right.
that, guys. This
Right. Don't get caught holding the bag.
is
So in
this
crypto,
is
there's
and
this phrase called "don't get caught holding the bag," right? And just think about,
right.
everybody is holding the bag, right? Or I don't know. It's just hard to explain. But just understand the one thing that CD just said. I want to expound upon is you don't lose, right, unless you sell at a loss. Okay. Now, on the flip side of that, you don't win unless you sell at a gain. Okay. But as long as you're holding, you're just kind of in limbo, right? And you can see your money grow, you can see it contract, you can see it, go up and go down. But just understand you only win if you sell while it's up, and you only lose if you sell while it's down. Okay. Now, with that being said, the whole point of the game is to catch it while your bag is up. Okay. Not while your bag is down. Okay. When your bag is up, you need to be taking profits because it's going to crash. The market is going to crash. That's just the history of it. Just get over it. It's okay. This is just how it works. Okay. And every cycle, the same thing has happened over and over and over again. It goes up parabolic, it shoots up, price shoots up, and then it comes down crashing hard. Right. So go back, look at the history, look at the charts. Go to coinmarketcap.com, click on Bitcoin, okay, and click on year or do like all time all, it'll say like all or something like that on the chart. We could probably pull it up in a second here too. But you'll see it. It goes up, comes down. Doesn't always come back down to where it was before. Okay. And that's the 60 to 40% crash that I'm talking about. Then it'll go up again during the halving cycle, and then it'll come back down 40 to 60%. Go up, come back down 40%, 46%. Okay. So just understand that this is the history of it is just how it works. So the the point of the game is to catch it as close to the peak as possible. Now, can anybody predict the exact number that's going to be the peak? No, of course not. Can anybody predict the exact bottom that's going to be the bottom? No, of course not. So, how do you lock in gains? As it's going up, you start taking profits. Okay. When it's going down, you need to be buying back in. I know it seems, you know, convoluted. It really kind of doesn't make sense, but think about it. As it's going up, you know it's going to come back down. So you need to be taking profits so you're not left holding an empty bag, right? You're holding the bag while everybody else is taking money out. And you're just caught holding the bag, and then the bag dwindles down. That's what the term means. Like, don't get caught holding the bag. So just understand as it's going up, you need to be taking profits. And then when it's going down, you need to be buying back in, right? While the price is low. Buy low, sell high, right?
Simple as that.
So, moving right along, moving right along. Your biggest gains, okay? The biggest gains that you're going to find in crypto is in altcoins. Bitcoin is predicted to get up to anywhere from 100,000 to, some people are saying like 300,000 during this cycle. Eh, some people say 500,000. Be honest, I don't think so. That's kind of a
Debatable.
stretch.
Right.
It's debatable.
Yeah. The global market cap has to go up, number one, extensively in order for that to happen. You have to look at the environment that we're trading in, number one. That's the
Number
key
one,
indicator. Look at the global, check the environment. Look at the global market cap of the total crypto industry. As long as that is going up, then there's room for these projects and these coins, including Bitcoin, to go up and continue to make those gains. If that's going
right?
down, then chances are, there's not enough space, there's not enough money in it for these coins to make these gains, these 100 and these 1,000x's, unless people start deflecting from altcoins and going to over to Bitcoin and Bitcoin to altcoins, which is actually what happens. Um,
Exactly.
which is actually what happens. And here's the theory on that though. Here's the theory is that essentially, Bitcoin goes up first, and then after Bitcoin, of course, Ethereum, and then after Ethereum, the remainder of the altcoins pull up after the fact. But I heard someone else put the rhyme and reason for that is because the overall strategy is to invest in Bitcoin, all right, and invest in altcoins. But after you make your money in altcoins, you want to take the money that your profits and then invest in Bitcoin. You make your money in alts only to be accumulating more Bitcoin because Bitcoin overall is said to have the better performance over an extended period of time, whereas altcoins um, they may have better performance over short periods of time. So an altcoin could 100x over the course of 8 months, but then come down. Whereas Bitcoin, has that consistent over time, over years increase. So that's kind of the theory behind that. It's just something to keep in mind. Once you're jumping in, whether you're playing Bitcoin or altcoins or whatever it is that you decide to do, just keep that in mind that it all is a cyclic process. And the better you understand that, the better you can time, your trades and what makes sense to you.
Yeah, and for context, just to help you understand. So what we're saying is that your biggest gains are going to be found in your altcoins, okay? And in particular, layer ones and layer twos, okay?
Yeah.
Um, your safe gains. Let me say that, okay? Your safe
Hmm.
gains, your safe big gains, okay, are going to be found in layer ones and layer two. What's a layer one? What's a layer two? A layer one is a blockchain, okay? uh, it's an actual platform. It's an actual smart contract platform that allows people to transact. That's the simplest way I can put it, in I guess in layman's terms, because it can get highly technical. But a layer two, okay, so think of, I like to say, think of a layer one as like the app store. Okay, app store, boom. On the app store you can build all of these apps. Okay, the apps are considered layer two. Okay, so you have layer one, which is like the actual app store. Then you have layer two, okay, which are third party applications that can be used in conjunction with the layer one. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
look it up, do your research. Okay, this industry, you have, if you want to be successful in this industry, you have to do your research. Okay, and so I want to share on just a second. I want to share this window that shows your different layer ones, and I just want to go through and talk about. Yeah, here we go. Talk about some of the layer ones that I think are gonna do well. Now, it could crash horribly. Okay, so don't listen to anything that I say. All right, do your own research first.
Not financial advice, folks.
This is not financial advice. So I'll just tell you what projects that I'm looking at, that I find interesting, that I find appealing. I'm just gonna go down this layer one list. And this is at blockchain-comparison.com. So check it out. All right. So going down this list, Algorand. Okay. That is a pretty solid one. Avalanche, definitely pretty solid. Binance Smart Chain, solid projects. Of course, you have Bitcoin. Let's see what else.
Cardano.
Cardano, right? Cardano
Mm-hmm.
has been waiting around, waiting around. I'm still waiting for what Cardano's gonna do. Okay, but it has a huge following. You see anything on here that jumps out at you?
You got Cosmos on there, a big one for
Cosmos.
interoperability and plug and play connectivity. Um,
Hmm.
Scroll down a little bit. What else you have on there?
Doge, you rocking with Doge? Dogecoin.
No, no. Meme coins, man. I would stay away from the meme coins. Those are generally pump and dumps, even though some of them now are trying to add usability and functionality to them. They typically are pump and dump. So that's one of those things where you can get caught holding the bag fast. So
Right,
just be careful. There's nothing wrong with getting in if you like the project, and you may like pump and dumps. Just be
right.
careful and just know that. Just don't get caught
And
holding the bag.
one thing I will say though with Doge is you can't, and then this is I think we had this conversation too. Elon Musk calls himself the Doge father. All right.
Hmm.
You can't discount that. Okay. Why?
Right.
Why do I say that? HT, but Doge is a meme coin. Doge is a coin. Why would I say that you have to take it in consideration? Because of Elon Musk. A lot of people either don't know or they forgot how Elon Musk amassed a lot of his wealth. And that was through PayPal. PayPal. Do you understand how huge PayPal is right now? Everybody and their mama knows about PayPal. And Elon was one of the initial architects of PayPal, a founder. All right. He knows money. He knows how to move money. And he's calling himself the Doge father. He's working with the development team, the Doge development team. They're trying to add utility. You have the Mavs, Mark Cuban, and the Mavs. They're accepting Dogecoin as payment. Some other people are accepting Dogecoin. Bro, I feel like that we may look back a year, 2, 3 years from now, like, dang, Dogecoin ended up being the one.
That
You know what I
coin.
mean? Right. You know what I mean? But who knows? Who knows? But I do feel like that it still has room to run. Okay, because of the fact that you have someone like that that's given knowledge about, how to make actual cryptocurrency massively adopted, and the Doge army, right, is is alive and well, right, and they're propping it up. So, again, not financial advice, but I got a little Doge bag that I'm gonna hold on to just in case. It's down right
full,
now too, by the way.
full
So
disclosure.
full disclosure, I'm waiting on it to come back before I. Again, you don't lose unless you sell. You don't win unless you sell. So I'm waiting till it comes back up past my initial purchase price, and then I'll probably sell. Okay. Another layer one, Elron. Okay, Elron is another good one. Okay. Of course, Ethereum,
Man,
right?
scroll down. Helium. All right, keep scrolling. We missing the premiere.
Oh, yeah.
We
This
missing a
guy.
cadena. All right, guys,
Yeah.
listen. This this is my favorite layer one right now. All right, I'm gonna just throw it out there. Full disclosure. I'm vested in there, but
For
this
sure.
is my personal favorite right now. This is my personal favorite layer one based on just the technology. It's the only scalable proof of work, you know, smart contract platform. So, and if you just look it up, do the research, look it up. If you can get one of those checklists that show all of the major features of what these platforms should do, see who has all the checks. Cadena's going to be there. You know what I mean? So I would, it's just one of my personal favorites. Really, I just wanted to see if it was on this list right here because it's kind of new. It's still you know, kind of new on the block. So really looking to see some gains there. I'm excited about it. You know,
Yeah, man. Yeah. Cadena and I'll say too, Cadena, um, I would open up their website and all of that jazz, but they have so their thing is to like basically not have any fees. So a big problem with Ethereum right now is that they charge gas fees for every
gas.
transaction,
Hmm.
right? And so with those transactions, imagine if you're transacting a lot, like you want to make a bunch of different transactions, those fees, I tried to buy an NFT the other day, and um it was like $100 to buy the NFT. The NFT was only like $300 at the time, and the fee to freaking buy it was an additional $100. Like that's
A third
bananas.
of the cost. That's ridiculous.
It's
That's crazy.
ridiculous. Like, why am I spending $100 like just for a fee, right? So Cadena, though, right, is basically saying that there will be zero fees, okay, which is huge,
Zero
which
fees,
is
man. That's major.
huge,
That's
right?
major.
But to Ethereum's credit, right, that money, those gas fees that they're charging, they're able to pocket that. And if you look at how much other layer one blockchains are making in comparison to Ethereum, they blow everybody out the water because of the gas fees, right? So Ethereum is a cash rich company right now. They have a lot of advantages, but folks like Cadena, another one that's one of my favorites right now is Solana. I think we talked about that on the show maybe a while ago.
Hmm.
um we might not have, but I want to say we did. And they have like really cheap fees too, right here, Solana.
Polkadot.
um and their thing is to keep the transaction fees under 1 penny. Okay. But Cadena, they're saying like zero. All right.
Right.
Another one to keep on your radar is Ripple. Ripple, that's another one.
Ooh.
Of course, they're in a lawsuit with the SEC, blah blah blah, and everything. But like the networks, the work that they did behind the scenes, is I think gonna really whenever this lawsuit is settled, it's going to really make them skyrocket. All right. And if you don't know, Ripple is um
XRP.
a
Oh,
huh?
no, go ahead. I was just saying XRP, but go ahead.
Yeah. XRP. So XRP is basically a cryptocurrency that's primarily for the banking industry. And what Ripple did before all of this happened is they established relationships with tons of banks internationally. Okay, and we're about to start transacting, and so I think some of them had actually started, but SEC came in, put a stop to all of it, right? But as time has been going on, it's looking like they're going to win the case. Ripple is going to win the case. So if that happens, you will see XRP explode. All right. So just again, not financial advice, but that's something that I'm watching really closely. Let's go back up a little bit because I think I skipped some. Polkadot. Polkadot,
Yeah.
another major one. Um, Ethereum is like the number two blockchain, right? So in the early days of Ethereum, there were different founders, right? Different founding members and early employees. Okay. Some of those early founders and employees left to start their own. The founder of Polkadot is one of them. The founder of Cardano is another one. Okay. So to me that means a lot because they were there with Ethereum on the ground level. Okay. And they know a lot. They helped build Ethereum to what it is today, and so they went out and started their own. So I would say that these projects should do well. And I mean, look at Cardano, which is like what Cardano is in the top 5 or something, right, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see, Cardano. Yeah, I want to say Cardano is in like the top 5 um
Market cap.
cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of market cap, and they hadn't even really released yet. Where they're number 6 right now. Solana just flipped them. Wow. Yeah. So yeah. Wow. Like just. So yeah. Cardano uh founded, or one of the founder helped start Ethereum. Polkadot founder helped start Ethereum. Okay, so this is why I say Cardano. Some people don't like Cardano, because it really hadn't done anything lately. But you can't deny the fact, experience, beats talent. I would say, especially if you're putting it to use. You know, uh, let's see what else. What other layer ones are is on your radar?
I
We
mean,
talked
there's
about,
tons of them out there, man. There's tons
yeah,
of them. You
man,
just passed Kusama,
yeah,
Terra, Theta,
Terra,
V
mm,
Chain.
tons
Uh,
of them,
yeah. So
tons of them. V chain,
you can really dive deep into this stuff, and if you're really considering getting into any of these projects, um, to double back that whole Ian Bellina
Tron,
thing, you can look on channels like this, League of Hustlers. We talk about the crypto. Just start, just look for the information, man. Look up token metrics. Look for the information around online. Just do your research on these projects, and find what you like. Making money in this arena, man. You can't buy and expect the next day that you're gonna 100x your money.
right,
You know,
right, for sure.
a lot of people are thrilled by the opportunity to make fast cash, but when people are talking about making 100x gains, it's not happening over the course of a week or even over the course of a month. A lot of times they've bought that project and they held it for an extended period of time. It could have been they got the 100x. They were an early adopter. So just keep that in mind too. But there's plenty of these projects out here that are actually great projects.
Yeah, man.
I
Yeah.
mean,
And
VeChain is
so,
less than 20 cent. VeChain is like 12, 15 cent. You can get plenty. You can get yourself plenty of VeChain with $10. And
mhm.
hold it. And one day VeChain goes up to $100. You know, then there you go. You just
Theta Network is
so
another one. Yeah, and so the thing I think that I try to help reiterate with folks over and over again is to keep in mind that we're not just these aren't just random names of things that are just, popping up. Like, these are actual projects started by actual people that are actually working on them every single day, right? So these are companies, these are startups that are solving real world problems, okay? And they're doing it on blockchain technology. So, for instance, Theta Network, okay, which is another one that I think is going to do well. It's like a YouTube, but it's built on blockchain. It's decentralized. Okay, it's a video streaming service. Okay, so think about stream, think about, or not stream, but Twitch. Think about YouTube. Think about going live and this and that. That's Theta. Okay, and they're doing it on blockchain. VChain is for supply chain management. Okay, basically like shipping, tracking products and where it's going, and making shipping more efficient. That's VChain. So each of these projects are solving real world problems, and they have real people that are working every day to make the project successful. When they offer a token for sale, they're basically saying, hey, if you invest in our company, we'll give you tokens, right? And as we do good and the company's value rises, the tokens that we exchange with you, the value of those will rise. So that's what's actually happening. Don't think of these as just. I think that's why people get caught up in the meme coins and stuff like that. So whenever you hear someone say meme coin, they're talking about a coin that has no utility, that has no use. It's just a meme, right? It's fun, blah blah blah. It's risky, it's speculative. But these layer ones, these are like real world currencies and tokens that are solving real problems, and they have real people working at them, and they're working on a daily basis to make the project successful. Okay, I think that puts it in perspective, you know and just helps you to really realize, like, hey, these are companies that, if they do good, then you do good if you're an investor. Just like Apple, right? Apple was a company. They had people working for them, and they offered shares for sale and said, hey, if you give us some money, we'll give you these shares. And with the money that you gave us, we'll use it to pay employees, to make products, to sell, to make our company more valuable, in turn, making your shares more valuable. That's all that's happening, but it's just going on a different way, right? And the whole industry is called cryptocurrency. Okay. Now, what else do we want to? Let's look at some layer twos. Okay. Again, your layer ones are like the blockchains. Okay. Think of it as like app stores. They create or a platform. They create these platforms. So VeChain is a platform, Ethereum is a platform. You know, all of these different ones are blockchains, they're platforms. Okay, and then on top of the platform, you can have apps, right, that do different things. Okay, and those apps are considered layer twos, and we're going to pull up layer twos right now and just
Mhm.
look at a few. um let's see. Yeah, here we go. Let's look at some layer twos. while it loads up. All right. And of course, there are way more layer twos than there are layer ones because, multiple layer twos can operate on layer ones. Okay. Again, we're at blockchain-comparison.com. What'd you say, bro?
No, I didn't
All
say
right.
anything.
Yeah. So some that jumps out liquidity, liquidity network. All right. Solid project. Loop ring, solid project. Loop ring just took off. I don't know if you guys are, just go look at the chart, man. They just took off. Matic, that's one of my favorites that I'm, holding and waiting and hoping and wishing that it takes off. Matic,
Yeah,
okay,
that's a big one.
is one to check out. Again, not financial advice. Look it up
Nope.
on your own time. Okay. Let's see what else we have. Uh, let's see. Scale is a solid one.
Yeah, scale.
Um,
I saw keep on the list. That's another one I usually see. Um,
yeah.
RSK is still early.
RSK, yeah. What's that? Root stock, something like
Yeah, I
that.
have to look it up, but I know I see the ticker all the time. I was on the chart the other day looking at it, jumped
Hmm.
in and jumped out. But
But yeah, so these
yeah,
layer twos are designed to operate and provide more utility to the layer ones.
right, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's like adding, for example, you got your Chrome browser, you use Chrome, and then you may have the add-ons in your Chrome browser, that just give you a little more functionality that you're looking for. That's basically
Right.
what these are, the added functionality in conjunction to, the layer ones.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, let's flip back over to yeah. Let's see. Let's flip back over. Not that one. To yeah. So next up, all right. Next up, now I need you guys to pay really close attention because this is going to be huge. And at this point, you've heard of it. You've seen a headline. You've seen a news headline. You've heard some of this, something around this, and you probably didn't pay it attention. Okay, remember these terms. All right, gaming. Right, in relation to crypto, gaming, metaverse, and NFTs. All right. Gaming, metaverse, and NFTs are going to dominate. They are going to dominate the industry over the next 1 to 3 years. Mark my word. When we created this slide, this was weeks ago. We're sorry, again, we're just getting around to recording the episode. But before we created this slide, we didn't know. Okay. We didn't know that Facebook was going to come out and rename themselves Meta. Why? In reference to the metaverse. All right. In reference to the metaverse. But excuse me, League of Hustlers, what is the metaverse? I don't know. Okay. But the only way I can describe it is think of the universe and then think of a metaverse. Okay. The metaverse is essentially, best way I can describe it is like taking social media, taking memes, taking Instagrams, YouTubes, Roblox games, any and everything that's done online and putting it in this one big collaborative space, okay,
Hmm.
called the metaverse.
Right. It's we've
What's the
recently gone
official
through a
definition?
phase where
Huh?
we've, I don't know the actual definition, but just think of it like we've all seen it happening over the last few years, the digitization of everything, every industry. The metaverse is the world where all of that digitization will exist. Like
Right.
H just said, think of it as a universe. The metaverse is the world of all of these digitized lanes that we've recently created and will be created like coming up, because you have to include the whole virtual reality component, which is going to be major, within the metaverse. You know,
Yeah, man.
we'll
And
see. We'll see.
the writing, bro, the writing is on the wall. The writing is on the wall. All right. I have kids, okay? And one day my son came to me and was like, "Dad, can I have $20?" And I was like, "For what?" He was like, "To buy clothes for my game character." I said, "For what?" He said, "To buy a skin for my character in the game. It's called skins or clothes or I whatever." He wanted money, okay, so that he can buy clothes for a character in a game. And I was like, "What?" And then it dawned on me, right? I used to be a huge GTA player, right? Call of Duty, all of that. And you could buy stuff in those games, right? To make, you know, your character better, right? So that you can buy stuff inside of the game. That was happening, right? If you guys remember, you remember Sims, you remember Roblox, you remember Minecraft, you remember all of these games, right? Where you could basically live a life and do your own thing and have your own
In the
story
game.
inside of in the game. In the game. That's where we're going, ladies and gentlemen. All right? That is where we're going. Now, just think of that on steroids. On steroids, okay? That's the metaverse. And think about it all being connected. That is the metaverse. Okay? Gaming is a huge, 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 huge industry alone. I want to say I don't even know how big that industry is. So, with that being said, there is a massive opportunity in gaming, massive opportunity in gaming. All right, and here are some tokens. All right, that we think you should do a little bit of more research on. And these are some projects that we think that you should keep an eye on. All right. So number one is Alluvium. Number two, Veracity. Number three, Fun Token. All right. And then Vulcan Forged. All right. Um, and see, since we've made this, there's so many other ones that I want to point out. But just do your research, man. Go look up gaming crypto. All right. And look at the
Right.
solid projects. You have
Yeah.
Axie Infinity, which skyrocketed like crazy, huh?
Yeah. So in these industries, on any of the platforms that you're on, even if you're on, what is it, CoinGecko or any platform that you can use, you can actually search and sort by these categories. So you can search the whole gaming category and you can see the stuff we're talking about here and even more stuff that'll come up. You can search for Metaverse, you can search for NFTs, and all of the other categories within crypto. And that'll help give you some perspective also on new stuff that's entering into these categories. Because by the time you hear about them, by the time, you know, odds are, man, they've already had that 10 and 100x a lot of times. Not to say that they're not going to grow and go anymore, because a lot of these things, the gaming and all of that stuff, it's only the beginning. The alluvium has a high price tag right now, if I'm not mistaken, but it's only the beginning, man. This stuff
Right.
hasn't even really happened yet. But if
Yo,
you get on
they
the
haven't released.
right, it's not even right.
The game isn't live yet. The game
Um,
isn't even live yet.
and just consider specifically with games. We talked about this one day. You have to just think like, these games take years to develop. you know so the hype could be building up around a certain game release, and then release a year 2 years later, like when you guys are waiting on that PS22 to come out and the Xbox 59. you know you're in line long before this stuff even comes out.
Long before.
So, and that's what's happening now. A lot of people are investing in this stuff, expecting it to be massive, and it will be. So
Yep.
there you go.
And
This is just a
just to
free list just to get
expound on,
your feet wet.
yeah, man, just to expound on that a little bit. It takes games years to be made. A good game, it takes years to be made. Yeah, you have your little small, Flappy Birds type of games that can be made in a weekend. But the good games that have massive adoption, what's the one? The huge Fortnite, right? Think about, look up Fortnite if you're not familiar with it. But if you are familiar with it, think about how much it takes to build all of that stuff inside of Fortnite, right? The different worlds and the buildings and the characters and the this and then the actual gameplay and all of that. It takes years to build a game. These games that we're talking about aren't released yet. All right. They aren't released yet. And when they do, you're gonna see this the value of their tokens like take off. There's also an opportunity for someone to create a blockchain console. All right. A console. Okay. Such as the PS, the PlayStation, right? So think about your PlayStations. Think about your what's the other one? Xbox 360s. There are opportunities for those types of things to be created and made. Okay. the other thing, the other huge things that's going on right now is the streaming. Okay, streaming. We talked about Theta Network. So streaming is huge right now. That's going to be another major, major, major thing that goes on. Also the play to earn. Think about all the people who wouldn't, all right, who wouldn't want to play games for a living. Now, if you are a gamer, that's your ultimate dream. Your ultimate dream is to play games, all right, for a living. Anybody that you know that's a gamer would love to play games all day and get paid to play games. All right. I would imagine being able to get paid from playing a video game. Super duper cool, super duper fun. That is a huge, huge, huge opportunity that's coming down the pipeline. Play to earn. So you're going to be able to play these games and earn tokens. All right. Look at the job industry right now. Why do you think that businesses are having such a difficult time finding workers? Think about it. Did the people disappear? No. Did the people find other jobs. Some did, but most didn't. So where did these people go? Where are they getting money from? Right? What's going on in their heads that that's causing them not to want a traditional job? What it is that folks have realized that this quote unquote American dream isn't much of a dream at all. This going to work for 8 hours a day, fighting through 2 hours of traffic, getting up early, ironing clothes, finding stuff to eat for lunch, blah blah blah, spending time away from your family, that's not the dream. Right? The dream is being able to spend that quality time with your family, being able to live life on your own terms, being able to earn as much as you want to earn. So, what we're seeing is people go into other industries, such as um, driving for Uber, Toro, Airbnbs. Like, people are finding so many other ways to earn income, right? To maintain a certain quality of life that fits them, right? And in gaming, the main thing that people want is to be able to play games, right? And earn money while they're playing games. And this is going to be a huge, huge opportunity. Do not say that we didn't tell you, all right? Because we told you around this time last year that crypto was about to take off. All right. And you know what Bitcoin was around that time? Bitcoin was around $15,000 the last time that we told you guys. So, listen if you want to. All right. Share the episode or not. At the end of the day, you might want to listen to what we're saying. Okay. Again, we pointed out Ethereum around this time last year. We pointed out Bitcoin around this time last year, actually a little bit earlier. And I remember specifically the price was about 15 grand on Bitcoin. Ethereum, it was hundreds. Okay. It was under that. And now look at Ethereum. Ethereum is freaking, what is it at right now? 4,500 bucks plus. All right. Bitcoin is at 65, let me see, $63,000 right now. So listen if you want to or not. But just understand we're seeing stuff happen in the market. All right. And unless you guys are living under a rock, you're seeing it too. You're hearing about it too. All right. But my assumption is that you're not crazy. All right. You're not slow. And my assumption is that you're a hustler. Okay. So from one hustler to the next, you want to pay attention to this stuff. Moving right along, I'm going to get off my soapbox. What's next? Metaverse. We want to. Facebook surprised me, right? And I know you shared a you shared a video from your boy Alex this morning, talking about his concerns with Facebook. What you thinking, bro? What's your thoughts on Facebook and their Meta rename? Is that as we all have had to say on on a Zoom call, you're on mute.
Yeah, what about that?
There you go.
So, but yeah, I don't really have much speculation into Facebook and their, them trying to secure the lion's share of the metaverse. Them trying to secure their spot. Um, I mean, it's a big industry. You just it's control.
Right. Typical Facebook fashion, right?
Do with the data. How are they going to use it to their advantage? That type of stuff. It's kind of the concern And people are always kind of afraid of big companies, big corporations that have um, a lot of control. And Facebook has already been called out a couple times in regards to that. So I think that's where the concern lies with this stuff. Um, but if they have control, you just have to understand it's because we gave it to them. You understand? So they didn't. They're not. Facebook isn't taking anything from anyone. Anybody that's on Facebook or uses their products, they're willingly signing up. They're being a willing participant in the platform. And the same thing would be with any product that for the metaverse. You have to willingly participate. If everyone decides that they don't want to use that and they want to use another platform, maybe that is respects their privacy in the way that they like, then there you go.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the
No,
choice is yours.
I guess. Yeah, man. I guess my concern is just that they're so like infiltrated into our everything. You know what I mean? And then to position themselves and rename themselves as Meta, it's like, come on, bro. Um, you know, give someone else a shot, right? You know what I mean? Like the metaverse and meta, like, come on. That's that alone, right? Will It's great positioning. You know what I mean? It's definitely great positioning as a company or whatnot. But yeah, so moving right along real quick, Sandbox, Decentraland. All right, Sandbox and Decentraland are could be considered metaverses inside of a bigger metaverse. All right, look it up. Sandbox, Decentraland. These are, if you're familiar with The Sims, you're familiar with Roblox, that's basically what they're like. Snoop Dogg has a partnership with Sandbox. He has a whole little, area in there that you can check out. Decentraland is pretty cool. It's, you can create your character, get in there and play around. Mana, the Decentraland coin, took off. All right, it took off here recently and went to the moon. If you were in that beforehand, congratulations. Right, I was in it and ended up, you know, getting out when I should have stayed in. Um, so it is what it is. Right, it is what it is. Uh, but yeah, look these projects up. Sandbox, Decentraland, Facebook, Metaverse coming down the pipeline. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. Oculus Rift. All right. If you're familiar with Oculus, this is something that Facebook started. All right. And oh no, excuse me. This is a project that they bought. Okay. And it's a VR headset. All right. I'll spare you the details. Just go and look up Facebook Metaverse. All right. Facebook Metaverse and look at their video, right? Their introductory video to their vision of the metaverse. And it'll open your eyes to where this industry is going. All right. Now, next, and lastly, NFTs. All right. NFTs are huge right now, right? And they're essentially bragging rights. Okay. They're bragging rights, right? They are a way for you to show that you're hip, that you're cool, right? That you are into this whole industry and that you're able to have access to some things that aren't that everyone can't access. All right. The only way I can describe it is like cool fashion or something like that, but it's digital. All right. Some people have integrated this digital art with offline experiences, right? So think about as you'll see here in this little thumbnail is called CryptoPunks, which is a really, really popular NFT project. Okay. Um, the one below it is called the Mods, right? Really popular NFT project as well. NFTs are huge, but going back to what I was saying, so some of these things have offline utility, right? Meaning that you could show, right, that you own one of the or owning one of these NFTs will give you access to a private event, right? Or a networking group, or it's one of them. It was like a rock, a picture of a rock, right? And but that rock, if you own one of those rock NFTs, it gave you access to this exclusive private group of people like Gary V. Um, what's the guy's name? Um, Tony Robbins or something like that, right? These big name people that otherwise you would have no access to these people, right? But owning one of these NFTs, right, grants you access into the quote unquote club, right? There's another popular NFT project called Bored Ape Yacht Club that's really huge. They're sold out. Projects cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. All right. So just understand the NFTs, the metaverse, and gaming are going to dominate the crypto market in the next few years. All right. Don't say that we did not tell you. We're telling you right now. So if I were you, what would I do? I would participate in the low channel challenge. The first thing that I would do is make sure I'm subscribed to the League of Hustlers. Number one. Number two is I would participate in the low challenges, right? What are the low challenges? The low challenges are simple, easy to do actions that you can take that are going to help you move closer and closer to your multiple income stream, blah, blah, blah. That's a mouthful. They're challenges that are going to help you move closer to your multiple income stream goals. All right. Little things that you can do, little actions that you can take. Trust us. Success is about taking persistent, continuous action. The challenges are designed to help step you through that. So, what can you do in terms of this? The number one thing that you can do is research these topics that we're talking about during this super long episode. All right. Or research the crypto that we mentioned in this super long episode. All right. If you're really on top of your game, you will share this episode. All right. And not only would you share it, you'll tag two of your fellow hustlers in this video. All right. Um, After you share it, tag them in the comments. All right. Share it and tag them. Share it, tag them. Okay. And if you do that, you could possibly win some super dope gear from shop.leagueofhustlers.com. All right. You're totally incentivized. So, on one hand, you're taking action that's going to help you move closer to your financial independence goals. All right. On the other hand, you're going to help your homies out by sharing the episode and hipping them to some dope content. All right. That's going to help them freaking change their lives by getting into this industry early. All right. And the other thing you're going to do is potentially win some free gear. Win, win, win. All right. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it for this episode. I think CD had to hop off real quick. I got to hop off real quick. We just wanted to bring you um, this, this information, this game changing. I promise you, it's game changing. So for the challenge, research at least one of the topics or crypto mentioned in the episode. All right. A bonus that we're including with this is to share and tag two hustlers for your chance to win free gear from shop.leagueofhustlers.com. Okay. Again, this has been a really, really, really beneficial episode from the League of Hustlers. Until next time, prepare to prosper.